Are you pulling your hair out trying to change the batteries in your Beoremote 1? Well, don't worry, it's our most often asked service question. So we've decided to make this video to share with you our hints and tips to make this process as stress-free as possible. Hi, I'm David from Bolo Store in Olufsen, Glasgow, and as you heard, I'm here to simplify the steps involved in changing the batteries in your trusty Beoremote 1. All you'll need is the remote itself and one of these little pins. There is one in the box. Since they often go missing though, you can also use the pin from a mobile phone SIM card slot, or a straightened stapler pin, or a safety clip. But in both of those cases, just be careful not to prick your finger. Now let's get to it. It's quite as simple as popping the pin into the little hole in the back and just gently press until you feel the spring. When you're pressing on it, all you're doing is releasing the tension on the buttons at the front, and you can gently push forward. When you see the gap appearing between the buttons and the aluminium, remove the pin and put it to the side. At that stage, you can then gently remove the buttons from the aluminium housing, being sure not to put any pressure on the screen at the top. You're then left with the aluminium housing, and the batteries are contained within the bottom part here, which you remove by just lifting the little clip a millimetre or two and pulling up gently. And that reveals two AAA batteries. And unlike a customer recently thought, the remote is not powered by magic. At this point, you can place the aluminium housing safe, and we are then left with the cassette itself. A really important point here is this little M clip, which holds the batteries in place. When I remove it, you'll notice that it has two little holes in it, and those must line up with the two little nodules on the top and the black middle section of the cassette. The purpose of them is to hold the batteries in place, and if you mistakenly put them on the other side, there's no nodules for it to hold in place, and it can lead to the cassette getting stuck in the remote itself, and that would lead to you needing to replace the whole remote control. So please be sure that when you change these batteries, you pop it straight back on and listen for the click. At that point, it's as simple as sliding it in to the aluminium housing, and pay close attention not to put any pressure on the brass contacts. These line up with the contacts on the underside of the buttons, and if you put any pressure on them, it can lead to the remote not getting power. You want to then simply slide the buttons into the housing, and again listen for that click. And if you've done your job correctly, once you press a button, the remote will power up. And that's your job done. You can expect the remote to last between 1 and 2 years, depending on usage. Another little tip is that sometimes these remotes disconnect from the TV after they've had their batteries changed. And if you suffer this, we would suggest you look in our gallery of other videos of how to pair a Beoremote 1 to a TV. Thank you.